The first thing we're going to do is get the energy of this room up. Okay. So the whole thing is with energy, is it applies to all of our senses, right? So the first thing when we see something, it either turns us on or it turns us off. We can't see without light, so we need light. But what is the best lighting? What lighting is best for your eyes? How should it be placed? Because if your eyes are tired, who gets tired? Okay? How do you get up in the morning? Do you get up in the morning to a sheer sound of a bell? Does it wake you up like this? Get up to music? You want to dance? How do you get up in the morning? That's energy. And that energy sets your whole day. Come on in. Come up front. We're going to do a little drumming. So I want to thank you all for being here, because I know you could be in a million other places. So let's raise the energy of this room by drumming. So now you drum. Pass it. You drum. Great. Okay, get that energy up. Let's go. Oh, good. That's like that. Whoa, okay. Here we go. Great. Okay, so what did we do here? We did a simple thing. We raised the sound in the room. I want you all to tell me, do you live alone or do you share?
I share.
You share. And what about you? You share.
Share.
Yes, sure.
Share. Share.
Okay. So when we find the positive electrical energy of our space, we go there and we say, oh, the day is over. Okay? Now, take a guess how many square feet that personal energy space is. Just take a guess. What would you guess?
Square feet.
Yeah.
4.
4 square feet. Okay. Anybody else? Just take a guess. What would you say? 2 square feet. Well, between the two of you, right, it's 3 square feet. Think of it. 9 feet of our total space is what feeds us. Does that make any sense? I mean, if you rent a space, don't you want the whole space to feed you? So let's say we have a bedroom that's 10 by 15, right? So that's 15 square feet, right? Okay. And only 3 feet is your little personal space. I mean, you know, you like this, right? Okay. So what we want to do is, we want to look at our whole space. And we want to empower that space to empower us. Because, you know, when you sit down in that little space and you have a cup of tea or a soda, it feels so much better, right? 20 minutes, you're ready to get up and do something else. Think about expanding that energy over your whole space, and it's feeding you all the time, no matter where you go. And even more personal, the spaces we share. Now, just recently, I did a lecture with a group of students in a library. And when I got through with the lecture, a student came over to me and said, I'm sharing a space with a guy in a frat house, and the guy's driving me crazy. He said, would you look at this space? I said, sure. I go there. And this guy's an athlete. He plays basketball. He's on the football team. He's on the rowing team. This happened in Pennsylvania. And he's just always doing, right? So what does he do? Comes in, takes off his dirty clothes, takes a shower, and runs. And this person never claimed his space. So when I say own your spaces, think about this, owning your spaces. How do you think you could own a space when you have Mr. Oinking sitting in the next bed, oinking away, you know? How are you going to own that space? Anybody have a suggestion? What would you do?
I guess you have to kind of work it out, maybe designate, like, this is my area, you know.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. And what would you do?
I would do that, and then take your stuff and kind of put it in that area, and it makes it your area, and then sometimes they don't exactly like that, so they stay away from your area.
Wow, that's very powerful. Very powerful. What would you do?
Just like both of them really said, I would make sure that I made it aware to the other person that this is my space and that that's your space. Move all the stuff on my side of the room, and also respect that other person's space so that they respect mine at the same time. Not just go over there or put stuff here or leave it here. Put all my stuff back, or at least on my side of the room, if not back in the same spot. That way that there's no confusion.
Right. Now think about this. This person that you really were put together with, that you really hardly know, is always running away. And you have to make a statement now, hey, I own this space. Right? I own it. So because you cannot confront this person and have a discussion with them, a nice, see, none of us really like confrontation, am I right? If you want to avoid confrontation, who would love to avoid confrontation, right? So you're going to have to do something really powerful to make this person respect you. And this is the whole point. See, we want to be nice. Our mothers tell us, be nice. You're a little kid. Be nice, right? Little kid. And you say, okay, I'll be nice, you know, because what are you going to get if you're nice? Maybe a toy. But this is a real world, and this person is not nice. So to claim your space, you have to do something drastic. Now, what do you think would be a drastic thing to do? Yes?
When I was a little kid, I shared one with my younger brother, so I had a duct tape and I taped it across the side of the room, and I said, you're not going to come on this side or I'll beat you up. And he was scared of me, so he didn't come on my side of the room. That was pretty drastic.
But that's it. That's exactly what you have to do. You don't have to say to the guy, especially if he's on the football team, I'm going to beat you up. Okay. So we're going to take a tape. We're going to tape the space down the middle of the room. And then, you know, I was raised by my European grandmother. And I thought she was mean because she made me clean with her. Clean up, she used to say. She gave me a dust rag. Broom, a little broom. I had to do everything, and I would go around saying child slavery, you know, child slavery, meanie grandma, you know. But she was right, because who has the cleanest, sweetest, best energy? Little child. And when they do the cleaning, they're putting that clean, little, fresh energy into your home, and you're also teaching them something, how to take care of themselves. So it's a twofold thing. You're getting the best energy in the world to clean your space, your kids, and you're teaching them something, how to take care of themselves. So now, this poor young man, I mean, this room smelled like a locker room that wasn't cleaned. That's pretty bad, right? So we opened up the windows, we cleaned up that room, he cleaned it. I said, you have to make a statement. And we are going to take big garbage bags and we're going to fill them up. And we did. And then, the most important thing, we took a big sheet of paper like this, put the rules of the room down, and when the guy walked in, he turned around and walked out. He didn't know the space. So I said to him, no, come on in. Here are the rules. What would you like to add? And that was the first time he was confronted, see. But he wasn't confronted in what kind of way? In a helpful way. And he didn't feel attacked. And we said, what would you like to put on the board?
Like you're working together.
Yes. So for the first time, we got him to stop and realize that this was not acceptable behavior. Now, you know, we have a personal space around us. And sometimes we love to be hugged, right? We need a good hug like a teddy bear. And sometimes Somebody's energy's a little sticky, and we'd like them to just stay out of our space. And I'm challenging you now. When someone has sticky energy and you feel it in here, you're right. And you know how everyone says, 3 strikes you're out, like in baseball, right? 1 strike you're out. You do not have the time in life to handle something more than once. Now, yesterday when I spoke, I talked about clutter. Does everyone remember that? Were you all there? And what did I tell you? When you pick up a piece of paper, you don't want to handle it again. 1 or 2 things has to happen with that piece of paper. No matter how interesting it looks, if it's not of value to you right now or in the next month, where does it go? Circular fire. Right? If it's a valuable piece of paper and you want to put it in with a file for study, but for what? For that subject. Now, here is where color is an empowerment. So, what did I promise you all? If you come to my lecture, you get a book, and I want you to look at the back of the book because that's the color empowerment, and I'm going to teach you how to use it because as much as I want to motivate you, I want to empower you more. Just pass it, please. And 1 for the lady back there. Does everyone have one? There you go. Oh. Over here. And these things that I'm telling you seem so simple. But you know something? We don't realize the power of them and how important that power is. So let's take this down really narrow. Looking at this, okay, we have courses. Now, I had a course in college that was called History of Civilization. And I swear to God, that professor died, but no one told him. And he would stand there and talk like this about the history of civilization. And then one day, he's talking about the Aborigines in Australia. And everyone's sleeping, that was where we got our rest, that period. 9 o'clock in the morning, we were sound asleep. And then he said one thing, he said, the Aborigines in southern Australia have the largest penises in the world. And a girl got up, she was offended, and she was running out, and he said, no, don't go now. The plane doesn't leave till 8 o'clock. Suddenly the class woke up. And from then on, we listened to what he had to say because of what? He was funny. And that caught us. She shouldn't go because the plane didn't leave until 8 o'clock. When you do something as mundane as it seems, remember I said make your bed in the morning? Doesn't that seem silly? Get up in the morning, you're running late, you're going to stop and make your bed? Yes. Why? Does anyone have an idea why?
I mean, it just gives you, when you come back into the room, it gives you a feeling of maybe like even accomplishment.
Exactly. You started something and you're finishing it now. You're setting the bed up. So when you walk back in, it's ready and comfortable and inviting. That's so right. Now, your desk. Remember I said about the clutter on the desk? We can't help ourselves. I mean, we come in and, we're tired. We put the stuff on the desk and it gets higher and higher and higher. But if we organize by color, if you put a colored dot, let's say a red dot on History of Civilization, and you have a red folder for History of Civilization, you take your notes for History of Civilization, throw them in, and put them in a standing file where you can reach them. And everything gets organized. You've trained yourself to do what?
Put it up.
That's right, put your things away. And everything in our life, you want to shut that door so we don't have to compete?
I think it's this way.
Talking about drumming, yeah, well, oh, is it that drum?
It's this way.
Okay. So what we want to do here is we want to organize our minds to set up our lives. Now, it seems very simple. We're students, setting up your life, you know, you want to have a social. Now, when you wear pink, look in this book over here. What does it say for pink? Relationships. So when you're wearing pink, you're saying, I'm a relationship person. I'm warm. I like people. Come over, give me a smile, I'll smile back. Okay, we have a fellow here with a black shirt. What do you think black means? Look down here. That's the black one.
Career life.
Career.
Depending on it.
Right. He's a really serious fellow. He's serious about his career. Now we've got a guy in purple. Let's look at the purple corner right up here. What does that say?
Well,
Wealth and health. Okay. So let's look at your room, your space. Now you told your roommate what they have to do if they want to share your space. So you claimed your space, most important. Claim it. Don't be afraid about hurting their feelings. You won't. They'll respect you for it. And that's another thing that we have to, when we claim our space, when we own our space, we're asking for respect for ourselves and for the space around us. So if someone comes over and they're too pushy, it's all right to say, if you don't mind, I like my space. I need it. And they'll respect that. But we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, so we don't say this, you see? So here we're doing two simple things. We're starting to organize our space so it works for us. And we're starting to tell people we own our space. Now, school is over, the fun is over, and you're in the business world. And they put you in a cubicle and your back is not protected. You're not in a room. You're in these space dividers. What do? You put up a mirror. Why? Because you don't want anyone coming over and seeing what you're doing on your computer. You may be typing up a confidential letter to your boss, and you don't want them to see what you're putting in the input of the computer. Or maybe you were on eBay and you were trying to buy something, and you certainly don't want someone to see that. So you put that mirror up, and what does that do? It watches your back. There are simple little things that we can do in life to protect ourselves. And yet, we have our conscious day is so bombarded with all kinds of things that we don't think about the simple things of protecting ourselves. In a training session that I did with a group of women from Avon, the one thing I said to them is when you start your day, organize your clothes the night before. Now, you say, well, that's, I go in the closet, I get out some stuff, and no. Set the intention of your day. Set the intention of your day to succeed, and you will. Think about that. Even to the jewelry you wear. Someone once said to me, if you wear a ruby, you'll have energy. So what they really meant is you wear red stones, even if they're crystal, they will give you energy. Think of the color red and think of a rainbow. On the top of the rainbow is purple, like that fellow's shirt. So he's going to be very wealthy. He's wearing the wealth color. And The lady next to him is grounded. She's in orange. She's grounded. I needed to be grounded today. My little feet were 3 feet off the floor. So I grounded myself with orange. Orange is an earth color. You're grounded too. Brown. Blue is the color of knowledge. In this book, I have 5 birthdays. If you look at page 55, birth colors of your year. If you wear your birth color, and you don't have to wear it totally, but have something in that color on you, you're re-empowering yourself with the color when you were born. Every little thing, setting up your room, setting up your clothing, things that seem so simple, they're in earth science. You're starting to work with your surroundings to empower yourself. Now, you know when you walk on a campus grounds and you sit on the grass, it's such a calming feeling, right? It's green, it makes you feel good. You're in contact with the earth. But the rest of the time, what are we in contact with? A carpet, which is probably made of polyester, which is not a living fiber. We're in contact with stone, with cement. We get in a car, we're in contact and encased in metal. So our, as the Indians would say, Mother Earth, Father Sky, they're in contact with the elements. Each one of us has 5 elements that motivate us. One element that's very important is the wood element. That's the growth element. Think of a tree, right? Now, the next element is fire. Fire, we all have a little fire in us, you know? That's what keeps us going. That's what motivates us. Fire is an important element. So if you're wearing something red, you're saying, boy, I'm fired up today. I'm going to ace it. Whether it's an exam, whether it's meeting a new guy or a new girl, whether it's renting an apartment or going to court. That color is an empowerment color. The next element that we have is the earth. So we have wood, fire, earth, metal, and if we didn't have air, we'd all be dead, so we need some air, okay? So think of those elements, and now think of the color of those elements. Wood is green and blue. And wood, believe it or not, growth, that growth color, is the knowledge color. So when you see, you know how we all are starting to wear blue jeans, and we all have a craving for knowledge? And when I speak to people, some of them have 2 degrees, some are planning to get a master's, and some are going on for PhD. It's a craving for knowledge, and the blue jeans brought it in. We want to be students, and we will be students for the rest of our life, because when you stop studying, what do you think happens? This little muscle up here atrophies. So I want you to do simple things for success. I have 2 sons who are extremely successful. One's an architect and there's no building, but he is still working. And that in itself is a success, having a job today. So think about that. If you start your day prepared the night before with an intention for the day by wearing your birth color, okay, in something. Like one woman said to me, oh, I wear a red string, but that red string means this, this, and this. I said, that red string empowers you. It's color red. Highest vibration of color in the universe. Okay? You're wearing your blue jeans, you know? You're going to school, you have blue jeans, black shirt, communication, knowledge. If you dress for the intention, you're going to have a difficult exam, you've been up the whole night, your eyeballs are on fire, what do you think you should do? Prepare your clothes for the next day. And take a break. Now, this was taught to me by a chiropractor when I was studying, and I had pains in my neck that went into my head and across my shoulders. And we get that from the computer, from doing this over the computer, and we get that from the wrong lighting. Now, this lighting is fine for this room, but this lighting is not good to study under. Why? It's fluorescent lighting, and it drains you. If you work in a place with fluorescent lighting all day, how do you feel at the end of the day? Your eyes are tired and you want to go to sleep. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is balance your lighting. Your desk should have lighting on both sides so that when you're studying, the lighting is over your desk, okay? And it's close enough to the desk that you get the full power of the lighting. Another thing that's very, very important is to have a white light. Yellow lights make us look sick anyhow. This is yellow lighting, so I'm really a better color than this. But if you have lighting that's daylight white, that lighting is going to help your eyes. And we're all wearing glasses, contacts, getting LASIK surgery because we're killing our eyes. So it's very important. The next step in this, and this is, you know, everyone tells us to be motivated, okay? So I was looking at E equals MC to the square. That's theory of relativity, Einstein, I borrowed it. E is energy, M is motivation, and the two C's are creativity and something else. It's in the book. But you have to be motivated, creative, and you have to keep yourself always at your highest level. And you say, how can I do that? So we have someone in the back who's falling asleep. Let's get him up and let's do a little energy. He knew my professor. Okay, everybody stand up. Come on. Up, up, up. Partying last night, huh? It was great. Okay. Everyone stand up. Put your hands parallel to the ceiling. Now I'm going to explain. This is going to realign your back, and you want to feel that you have a string in the middle of your head pulling you square to the ceiling. Your feet are about 12 inches apart. And you're going to imagine, if you close your eyes, imagine sunshine coming down, hitting the palms of your hands, the top of your head, and in a clockwise motion, it's going around and around your body, down your arms, in your head, through your throat, your neck, around the heart. It's relaxing those muscles in your shoulders, in your neck, in your diaphragm, in your stomach, and all the way down your legs and into what we call the bubbling spring. That's the ball of your foot. If you just bounce a little bit and push that ball weight down into the earth, and imagine it going all the way down, hitting the magna of the earth, coming right back up. It's enlivening our feet. We want to dance. It's circling our ankles. It's rubbing our muscles in our calves and in our thighs. It's going up our stomach. All the inner organs are being massaged, our heart, and right back through our throat and our head and up, up, up into the universe. And now we're going to bring our arms around, all around, and shake your hands out. And move your feet. Just move and bounce a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Now, you do this 4 times a day, you will not be tired, I guarantee you. And when you're working, you can all sit down now. Thank you. Thank you for joining me in the exercise. Now, can I get some feedback? Anyone to tell me how you feel? Do you feel any better? You're really tired. Did that kind of give you a spurt? Okay. The lady in the back?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. How about my girl with the balloons? Do you feel better?
Yeah, I got a little burst of energy.
Okay, now I'm going to give you a little story about this. I started doing this because my chiropractor said if I didn't, I'd continue with headaches and backaches, you know. And I found out that I didn't get on the scale at all. Found out at the end of the month I lost a pound. You're breathing different. And when you're breathing different, you lose weight, you have more energy. And don't you lose any weight. Keep breathing, but don't lose any weight. So what we want to do is empower ourselves. I can give you the most motivational talk on earth, but if I don't give you the tools, what good is it? I can say to you, you're going to be a tremendous success. I can tell by the way you walked in here that you're motivated and you're going to succeed. That's great. But if you're living in a negative space, what's going to happen to you? If your roommate is an energy vampire, where are you going to be? And by saying, I'm claiming this space, and claiming it so simply, by just cleaning it, arranging it, then what have you done? You have empowered yourself. That's my better half, so let's give him a hand. He's now, there are three things people want in life, okay? They want a good job, and they want to make some money, right? They want to have good relationships. They want to have a soulmate. And I will tell you, no matter how crazy the thing is that you love to do, okay? No matter how crazy it is, do it. It'll turn into a business. It'll make you money. And you know what? You'll get up in the morning and you can't wait to get to work. Now, I'm an artist. I graduated Cooper Union, and my mother never wanted me to be an artist. She said, artists starve to death. So I was skinny anyhow. I didn't have much far to go. So since then, I made some money, put on some weight. I'm not worried. I loved it. I just loved it. I mean, I pick up a brush, I'm in heaven. So I decided I'll find a job. I went to the dean. I said, I have to get a job. I'm starving to death. He said, okay. He sent me to a textile firm. I learned textiles. I was painting my flowers. I was so happy. And from there, I became studio manager. And from studio manager, I became stylist. And from stylist, I became design director. And from design director, I went to a Fortune 500 company. And I became vice president of design for the entire company and spokesperson. And then I said, well, I have to learn about business. So I went to business school. I went to NYU and I studied marketing, management, accounting. Oh, did I hate that. That was really cool. But what do you think I use every day in my business? Accounting. And I can sit down and I can read a balance sheet. Well, that's a good thing. You know why it's a good thing? No one can steal my money. I'm on top of it. So I want to give you a little tip. Study accounting. I don't care what your profession is. I don't care if you're an engineer or a doctor. Knowledge of law and accounting can save your butt. And I'm saying butt because I went to a lecture. A woman was an improv teacher, and she was funny. I mean, I loved it. It was a lot of fun. And the one thing that she left me with was never say but. But is negative, okay? Say and so, because and so leaves your discussion open and you're going to learn something. I like that. And then she said, if you say but, you're thinking with your butt. And then we all laughed, you know. But it's true. If we say but, we're setting ourselves up for negativity. We must stay positive because we have a lot of negative stuff around us. Landfills are negative. They impact on our water. We don't know where to put our garbage. Okay? It's serious. There's a whole business in garbage. I have a friend that she just routes garbage. She makes a lot of money doing it. She's trying to do something about the environment. It's up to you people to save our planet. And you start by owning your own space, by saving your space, by planting some flowers. A young lady came to me the other day and said, I want to get a job. I need a job. And I'm going on interviews, but I'm not getting a job. I said, well, look at this. This is black here. This is red here. If you put a black mat at your front door and a red wind chime out your back, she said, I don't have a back door. I said, get a little wind chime that goes on a refrigerator and just stick it on your window. The window frames are usually metal. You'll get a job. She said, that sounds crazy. I said, what have you got to lose? You're not getting a job anyhow, right? So I can't tell you how many times I've given that simple solution to people. Black and red causes a motion of energy that causes communication, brings out your fame, and you get a job. Career and fame. If no one knows anything about you, how are they going to give you a job? And I told her that. I said, when you come in and they start talking to you, talk back. Ask them, oh, is that your daughter? Does that picture your daughter? She's so pretty. And how are you today? You know, people love people who are interested in them. And even though they are interviewing you, you are interviewing them. Did you ever walk into a place for a job, you needed the job, they want to give you the job, and you wish you didn't have to take it? And 2 weeks into the job, you knew you shouldn't have taken it? But I will say this to you, and a Harvard graduate said this. Take what is offered to you when it is offered. That is your present, and you're living in the present. And keep an eye for the future as you're getting trained in your job. There are other companies that do the same thing. And guess what? You're going to get the job of your life just by learning, being pleasant, and making each day pleasant. Get up to music. Get up to a harsh bell or ring of a alarm clock. Get a clock where you can put your favorite CD in, you know, and that'll wake you up. That makes you feel good. Plan your clothes the night before, and what have you done? You've set the energy for the day. And ladies, you're going to love this, but diamonds are truly our best friend. Anything crystal crystallizes what you're going to do. So your jewelry, if you wear gold jewelry, the sun is out. Gold is the sun. Going out that night, you want to put on chandelier earrings in silver. Silver is the moon. And everything we handle has an energy. Gold has the energy of the sun. Silver has the energy of the moon. Don't you think that if you're born late in the day that you're going to be wearing silver? And if you're born early in the morning, you wear gold. You rise with the sun. So there's an intention in everything we touch and do. Now, as as we develop, we learn a lot of things. Some things we wish we didn't have to study, right? If you ever take something like algebra, geometry, right? Physics, and you struggle through that, and you say, I'm never, never, ever going to use that, right? Never, ever. And guess what? You end up on a quiz show, and you win $750 because you knew the answer. And these little things that we learn that we think are so unimportant become the most important thing. Sometimes we're given a course and we think, why am I taking this? It doesn't relate to me at all. I should be taking something else. And then when you get out of school, you find out that thank God you took that course, because the challenge where you're put in the business world, you needed that course. Nothing, and has anyone here read the Celestine Prophecy? It's a wonderful book, and it's a short read. But the basic thing in that book that really excited me is he was on this journey. And as he needed to know the next thing, as he learned a whole group of things, as he needed to know the next thing, it was an archaeological journey. The door opened.
I'm a volunteer, I have to go.
That's all right. If you want your book signed, come to 20, you know, over, and I'll sign it.
Thank you. I'm sorry again.
That's all right. And I'll sign all of your books if you'll come to my booth at booth 20. Now, I was talking about the Celestine Prophecies, and in this, he takes this fabulous journey through the Amazon jungle. And the path is, the sun comes down and lights a forked path. And so he goes where the sun is, and he gets to the next answer in his question. So we don't get anywhere haphazardly. Every step we take is predestined. And everything we learn is predestined. And as your life unfolds, you say to yourself, oh my God, I'm using this. I thought I'd never use it. And whether you're using it to tutor someone who's stuck, doesn't matter. Whether you use it to make money, that's another thing. Everything you think you won't use, you use. So what is your intention? What is your road? What do you want to do with your life? And another empowering thing is lists. Make a list. Don't be afraid to put down the wildest dream. Just put it down. Trip around the world, you know, work in Europe. I wrote that down when I was in art school. I wanted to work in Europe. I ended up with a job in Amsterdam, and it was fun. So put down, when you put something down on paper, what are you doing? Anyone?
Like reassuring yourself, making it a visual goal.
It's a visual thought, very important. Anybody ever make a wish board? Yeah. Very empowering, right?
Yeah, right before I went to college, I was in a really crappy relationship, and he said, you're never going to do this, you're never going to do that, and I was like, okay, it's cool. So I wrote down everything that I wanted to do, I wrote it in a journal, and I kept it for a year, and I've checked off everything off my list that I wanted to.
Anyone else? Yes? You make a list? Okay. Anyone else make a list? Yes.
I make a list to do things for the weekend because I tend to not want to do them if I don't have a list.
And how do you feel when you check that list off?
Like I can go out to class on Monday and not be ashamed because I don't have a list.
The accomplishment
Right.
of checking that list off is empowering. Yes.
I've been accused several times of having OCD, so I'm very organized to begin with. And so being, I guess, the executive of my crew, every time we have a meeting, I have to come up with an agenda and what we're going to go over and everything. So every time I come up with a list of what we're going to go over and everything, I'm very specific about what we have to do and what we have to go over and everything. And if we don't hit every single topic on there, I get very frustrated. So the list can be good and bad, because if I don't get, I mean, I enjoy going over the list, but at the same time, I get very stressed and frustrated if I don't get everything on that list.
All right, so I'm going to give you a trick to de-stress, okay? And this is really important, because stress kills us, kills our dreams. And the only real way to handle stress is you look at that list. You have 10 things on the list, and you accomplished 8 or 7, right? You're 70% ahead of not making a list. And you know, there's this another thing. I want everyone to do this. I want everyone to do this, okay? And I want you all to say to yourself, good job. Come on, good job. Good job. Terrific day. Terrific day. I'm a wonderful person.
I'm a wonderful person.
And I really look great today.
I really look great today.
Because I prepared the night before. Okay. You don't think that's important? It's really important. Now, how many people would like to know how to ensure a wonderful relationship? Maybe get a boy. Okay? And this works, because I got him. So, I'm telling you, it works.
Is that Venus flytrap?
It is called the Venus flytrap. Now, where pink is in your room, you enter your room through a door. The door is the mouth of energy of the room, okay? So when you enter your room, on the right-hand side, now you shake hands with your right hand, right? Everybody shakes hands with the right hand, or if you're left-handed and you go to an Arab country, they'll put your hand over, because you're not supposed to do that with the right. Yeah, you know what they use that for. Anyhow, that's just a little tidbit. Anyhow, the important thing is that when you look at that color chart, you know that your right hand shakes hands and the right corner is relationships. So from the door, the far right corner, relationships. Now, I just helped a girl who never had a relationship. I said, well, you have your cat litter in that corner. So let's get it out. That corner empowers your relationship. So what do you want to put there? Perfume. You want that relationship to smell sweet. Aftershave lotion. Okay? Have an idea of some kind of person you would like to love. Ladies can do GQ magazine, the men can do Playboy. You know, why not? If you're going to dream really good. An actor that you love, an actress, cut a picture out in a heart. Make it look like a Valentine. Put it on a mirror. What does a mirror do? Doubles the image, right? You want some money, put some money on the mirror. Empower it. Say, you know, universe, I could use some more money. And doubling the money in the mirror.
Does that mean if you put a penny on it, I'll get 2 pennies?
Why not put $5 on it and get 10?
Because I don't have $5.
Put a penny on. Start small, get big. So everything you put on this mirror, which is your wish tray, okay? What are you doing? What are you doing when you're putting something out in your room, in a corner which says relationships? What are you doing? You're empowering yourself to get out there and form that relationship And everything you put on that tray, I had one girl, she put her grandmother's wedding ring on that tray, and a year later she was married. And Bill and I went to the so it's all here. Now, in my book, you can get in touch with me if you have any questions. If you come to my booth, I will sign your book. And I would like to know what colleges you're in. If you give me your name, your email, and the college, we'll keep in touch, because this works. This is a tool for life, and this will put you and guarantee you the road to success. So thank you so much for coming, and I would like to hear from all of you. I really appreciate it.